Yeah, 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 yeah.
Hi y'all. So before I ask my question, I want to clarify a point that y'all mentioned earlier. You said you don't believe in white privilege, correct?
Yeah, it's a myth. It doesn't exist.
Okay. So according to the Bureau of Prison Statistics from last month, 38.3% of our current inmate population is black. But according to the 2020 census data, only 12.2% of our national population is black. So if you don't believe in white privilege, how do you explain this disparity?
So why are they in jail?
It has been this way for years.
We already off to a bad start. I'm not even gonna lie, we're already off to a bad start. Firstly, we're not in prison because we're black. Like, I'm not gonna go to prison because I'm black. Let's just get that out the way, bro. If we're gonna talk about a privilege, we need to be talking about like an economic privilege, because I believe that has a way stronger influence on whether you go to prison or not. Because it kind of ties into why you go to prison for doing crimes. So let's talk about why you're doing crimes. What you're trying to say is, I guess, being black will make you do more crimes. That is not true. Being broke will make you do more crimes. So if you're going to talk about privilege, let's talk about the economic privilege, man.
Since the 90s.
No,
since
why do people go to jail?
Why are black people in jail at higher rates than white people?
That's the question, right? Maybe because they
Yes.
commit more crimes than white people.
But that's not true. It actually is.
They do. So every independent analysis shows that blacks have committed a disproportionate amount of crime. No one wants to say it out loud, but it's true. In fact, in New York, 52% of murders are committed by blacks, 40+% of arson, 60+% of drug deals. And so the question you should really be asking is, what drives them to commit crimes? That's the question, right? The real question is, and maybe I can ask you, what percentage of blacks are raised with two parents in the home?
So actually, according to the Uniform Crime Report for 2019, black or African American individuals committed only about 1 million crimes, while white people committed about 4 million
Yeah,
crimes.
so,
But that's
hold on.
proportion.
Yeah, how about the proportion?
There's a lot more white people than black people in the United States.
It's a 60% white country and a 14% black country. So you just proved my point.
And I really don't like videos like this. And I get what she's trying to do. She's trying to say, like, white privilege exists, but he just said I guess we sell 60% of the drugs in New York and we commit more violent crimes. And if you listen to the music of our culture, or you listen to what our artists are saying, a lot of the black rappers are promoting violence. They're promoting selling drugs. So how could you sit here in a realistic tone and be like, well, we don't commit the crimes? Let's do a comparison, man. Our biggest artists are fighting RICO charges right now. Young Thug, Gunna, YMW Melly, King Von was deceased. These are some of the biggest artists in the black community, and they're fighting real live RICO charges. So if this is our culture, if this is the music we listen to, and we're growing up already in impoverished neighborhoods, it only makes sense that we're going to commit more crimes. That's just a logical answer. I'm not trying to say white privilege doesn't exist. Let's be 100 here. Like, let's be honest. You can't in one voice say that you love the black culture and it promotes violence, and you're saying it, no, in one voice you're saying that black culture doesn't promote violence, but in another voice saying we don't commit the crimes. And I'm not saying all black culture promotes violence. I'm saying a lot of our artists, to the young people, are very into that street life.
Literally, so basically that's a disproportionate amount of crime. It is.
But listen, I want to say, look, you are coming up here and you're asking a question, and that's not easy to do, first and foremost, no matter what. And I really appreciate your question in front of all these people. It's hard. So thank you for asking your question. But let me point out what you just did, and you didn't know that you did it. You switched from proportion to raw numbers. And you did that to make a point that you thought you were making, but you weren't. But look, your issue was that black Americans only make up 13% of the population, and yet they make up, I think you said, like 38% of the prison population. And then you switched to raw numbers because, so black people only make up 13% of the population, but they commit 40% of all homicides and 60% of all violent crime. Unfortunately, I don't think that's anything inherent in black Americans. That's not what I'm saying. That's just the fact. And what Charlie is saying is, look, we've got to look at why that is. So you're claiming that that disparity is inherent proof of discrimination. So would you also say the fact that there are fewer Asians in jail means that than white people, that there is discrimination against white people?
And that's what I'm saying, man. If you're going to use that line of logic, you have to use it fully. You have to use it all the way. If it disproportionately affects black people, if we're being fair here, that means it disproportionately affects every single race. But that's not the case. I get what you're trying to do. You're trying to fight for the black community, and I get it. And I thank you, I guess, for it. But what you're saying is just not true. What I'm saying is that our culture, and I like rap music. I listen to it all the time. But we really have youngins out here who are living that life. That's our culture. We have some of the most dangerous scenes in music that there is. The BET Awards just passed. It was literally just a video online of a rapper saying, if you're black and you come to my city, you need to check in with me. They don't do that at the white awards. They don't. But I'm not trying to bash my community. I'm just saying that that's the culture. You need to check into a city you're going to for an award show to show that you are doing something with your life. You need to check in with the gangsters in that city just so they don't shoot or rob you. That's our culture, man. And I'm not trying to say we are less than any other culture. I'm saying that's the reality. That's what it is. So for you to say we're being targeted, discriminated against, and such disproportionate race, and it's just unjustified for it, that's not the case. Because if that was the case, we wouldn't be committing more crimes on this level, man. We need to be focused on how can we commit less crimes. Then we can have a real discussion.
No. Disparity isn't proof of discrimination is what I'm trying to say.
So let me just throw, and Allie's exactly right. What percentage of blacks grow up with two parents in the home?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
less
have
than
it pulled up.
20%. That's why there's so many blacks committing crimes and they're in jail. It's that simple. The death of the black family is why blacks are in jail higher than their population percentage. It's that simple.
May I see your criminology degree? Do you have one?
And there you go, trying to say, where's your criminology degree? Where's your criminology degree? You don't even know the numbers that are supporting my community. And yes, I'm a little offended because you're trying to get up here. You're trying to, I guess, prove a message, say that we are being discriminated against so much. Yet you don't even have half the information you should have. The death of the black family is directly affecting us. Yeah, we have a lot of black women out here who are raising kids by themselves. We need to get the black father back in the household. Why isn't the black father back in the household? That's the thing that really is affecting us. The lack of a black father. We have black women out here raising children all by themselves. That's what's really affecting us. And for you to say, where's your criminology degree? Why does that matter? Why? I thought you supported us. You should be like, yeah, you're right. You should try to be helping us, but instead you're fighting him about what he just said.
I'm sorry.
No,
Wait.
we've gotta. Are you a
We gotta argue
biologist?
from an
Ketanji
expert
Brown
thing.
Jackson.
Let me ask you a question. So do I need a criminology degree to be able to understand that 75% of blacks don't grow up with two parents?
To be well versed in it, I believe so.
Do you have one?
I don't, but I'm studying it.
Okay,
right
but
now.
you
Oh, she studied it.
exactly. But you did the same thing. You looked at a statistic, and he did the same thing. You
Look,
don't have a criminology
Have you
degree,
even taken
neither
a
does
criminology
he.
course? Have y'all
Hold on
taken
a second.
one?
You're doing an argument from authority, okay?
It's a fallacy.
So the laws of physics don't change whether or not you're a physicist, okay? The law of thermodynamics doesn't change whether or not you take a course on it. Answer the question. Why do blacks have a broken family versus a nuclear family, and does that translate to higher rates of crime? Do you admit that?
Why is it that blacks don't have parents, though? Why?
Good question. We subsidize single motherhood in this country through the federal government of the United States. Great question. Now we're getting somewhere. Back in the 1960s, we put forward a program where black women married the government and broke up with the men they were with. Welfare state, Lyndon Baines Johnson, and that has contributed to blacks committing more crimes.
I believe institutionalized racism is your answer, but I don't believe I'm getting
Oh,
anywhere
but
with y'all.
But
so-
no, just let me point something out. Did you know that it's not white Americans that have the lowest incarceration rate or the lowest rates of crime or the highest graduation rates or the highest median income? It's not white Americans. It's Asian Americans. They have the highest median income. They have the highest graduation rates. They have the most degrees. They have the lowest incarceration rates. And guess what? They also have the lowest single parenthood rates. Okay? So
She just said she just confirmed what I already said. And when I bring this issue up, and this is why I'm so passionate about it, I bring this issue up in all my videos regarding my community, but yet people just act like it doesn't exist. Like what you're saying is not fact. Yes, we need to bring both parents back in the household. That's just what it is. And I'm not going to sit here and act like the issue is all on black women, because it's not. Saying that they divorced their father because of the government, yeah, that could be true. But you can't put all the issue on black women, and you can't put all the issue on black men. The fact of the matter is we have the lowest two parent households in the country. And that is affecting our children. That is affecting young black boys. That is affecting young black women. And we need to fix that issue, man. And it starts with the black man going back to the household, in my opinion. But they're completely right. This young lady, you don't have the authority to sit here and attack them on my community, saying that, well, just because you don't have a criminology degree, that doesn't, you're not allowed to talk about this. I don't have a criminology degree. I'm black, though. I live this every day. So I know what's affecting us. And you're just sitting here trying to prove your point, push a narrative that's just not true.
that is true across the board. It's not just black Americans. And unless you're willing to say that the reason why Asian Americans make more than white Americans, or the reason why Asian Americans go to jail less than white Americans is because there is systemic institutional racism against white people in this country, then your argument against black people doesn't really work.
So let me ask you one thing. You said institutional racism. I got a black friend right up here. He's great. He's great. So let me ask you. Let me ask you a question. What can I do that he can't do?
What do you mean?
If
Crickets.
institutional
Crickets. No words, nothing. He just asked you, what can I do that he can't do? Nothing. You can't say anything that he can do that I can't do. And that's the message that you should be trying to get across to the young black men and women of America. If it's a kid out here, you're trying to paint this narrative that we are just so disproportionately hindered in society. That's just not true. And I get it. We do face struggles. I'm not going to lie. We face struggles. But we can do everything white people can do. That's just what it is. Like, we can. And I'm tired of people saying that we cannot. We can do it. And if you're watching this and you're a young, black, white, whatever the crap, you can do anything in America through Christ. That's what God said.
Racism was real. What can I do that he can't do?
Well, you're less likely to get arrested.
I'm sorry. No,
That's
if we
less-
both commit a crime, he's going to get arrested and I'm not?
He could.
Wait, so we just went through this.
I'm saying-
Blacks commit a disproportionate amount of crime in this country because of broken families. So give me one law on the books.
not because
You
of
said it's
broken
institutional.
families.
Give me a law anywhere that discriminates against blacks. Give me one law anywhere in America.
You want current or past?
How about right now?
Well, the fact that crack cocaine is criminalized more than regular cocaine.
No,
That's
if I
disproportionate
deal
racism law against blacks.
if I deal crack cocaine, I'm getting arrested regardless of skin color. Give me a
But if you were
law.
dealing white cocaine, you're
Give
less
me a
likely
law
to get a harsher
anywhere
sentence.
that allows white people to commit crimes and get away with it, and blacks can't. Does that law exist?
Did she really just say crack cocaine? So your law, the law that you chose, is choosing the most dangerous drug, one of the most dangerous drugs ever created, and saying, well, the people who make crack cocaine rather than sell pure cocaine are going to have a higher chance of going to prison. Both should go to prison. Both. And the reason crack cocaine is more deadly than pure cocaine, I'm not even going to sit here and entertain that statement. That was a crazy statement.
Not anymore. But that
Because
doesn't
there's
mean
no
it's not real.
institutional racism in America.
Because there-
The idea of institutional racism is laws on the books.
Just because it's not down on paper doesn't mean it's not real.
Okay, give us an example. Not just
God.
a disparity. Not just a
God?
disparity.
God isn't. You don't see God.
He's on paper. Read the Bible.
What?
I didn't mean it like that.
Okay, this young lady is just getting straight carried at this point. Like, she's just getting straight demolished, man. She said God and cocaine are the reasons that are the reasons that systematic racism exists. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm stumbling because I just can't believe this exists against the black community. God and crack. I just can't believe this, man. I really can't. But if y'all have any more suggestions for me, comment them down below, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you on the next one. Oh my God.